My grandfather used to say a proverb, bí o bá láyà kó ṣèkà, ṣùgbọ́n bí o bá rántí ikú Gaa kó sòótọ́. Hello movie lovers. Today on the show we'll be reviewing the movie House of Gaa. Let's dive right into it.
Gaa! Apanilẹ́kúnjayé.
Kinupe kò ní tẹríba. Ẹyẹ mọ́gún!
Ọ̀dájú.
Ẹsẹ̀ wọn bọ́ sẹ́sẹ̀ sójú.
Ìkà.
Olúwa mi Aláàfin Lábísí ti gbé kúrú jẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹbọra.
Àti wàá nílò ọba tuntun báyìí.
Ó dìmúlẹ̀.
Ó dàṣẹ. A ti pinnu wípé ìwọ la fi jẹ Aláàfin tuntun. Àmọ́ ó ní àwọn nǹkan kan tó lè ṣe alátakò dídé adé ọba rẹ o. Sọ tẹ́ ọ lọ́rùn àbí kò tẹ́ ọ lọ́rùn.
House of Gaa talks about a story in history that took place between the 17th and 18th century, and it focuses majorly on the titular character, Basharon Gaa, obviously. Gaa is shown as a powerful warrior, and not just a warrior, but a kingmaker, a king of kingmakers, if you get what I mean. He was in the Oyomesi. The Basharon was the prime minister and also the head of the council of kingmakers. And Basharon Gaa was so much loved by everyone in the community. They loved him because he fought and won wars. He spread across a whole lot of towns, even to the Dahomey Kingdom, which is currently Benin Republic, and a whole lot, Ilorin, Egba. It was just a whole win-win-win situation for him, and a whole lot of people loved him. But then again, with every responsibility, there comes this power tussle and power drunkenness, and we see that happening with Basharon Gaa.
Èmi kàn fẹ́ kó dọ̀bálẹ̀ fèmí ní sànà gbàlàjà tó bá sì ti dọ̀bálẹ̀ ó sì mọ padà sáàfin rẹ̀ àdúgbò.
Èmi kí n dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún. Èmi àwọn bí ojú. Akin òòṣà. Èmi tí mo sùn lé tí mo sì ń dẹ́rù bara mi. Dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún.
Basharon Gaa becomes so much intoxicated with his power that he begins to demand a whole lot of things unheard of, telling them how to dress or what to wear or who to be throned or who to be dethroned. It was just a mess. And you know, even when people like you, there's just a push. You push people to the wall and they'll start creating your downfall. One of the major falls of Basharon Gaa started when he started asking for things that he should not even be demanding for. He knew he couldn't be king, and that's one thing the movie doesn't tell us. He wasn't from a royal line, and so he couldn't be king. But what he had was a power that even the king did not have, and that was why in the movie, sorry, there'll be some spoilers, but I can't review without giving you spoilers, you get. I'm sorry if you haven't said it yet, I'll spoil it a bit, but I'll make sure not to overly spoil it. You know, he had to start telling people, oh, this king I don't want, this king I want, and he started putting puppeteers on the throne, and he wasn't really doing a lot for him because of those nuances of his, he started gathering a lot of enemies. Like for example, he dethroned a lot of people and then put his children as governors of different cities. For instance, Ilorin, Dahomey, which naturally shouldn't be so, but you know, he was the king of kings and he had the power to do whatever he wanted to do, which he did. His downfall started when he brought in Oba Majeogbe. Oba Majeogbe was a king who didn't want to become king because before him, other kings had died, like 3 other kings had died, and he knew that if I enter this place, this is a lion's den, I'm not coming out alive. But what he did was to fortify himself against Gaa and be like, at all, na him bad pass. So he fortified himself, he becomes king, and then because he knows he now has power over Gaa, not like he had power over Gaa, but he had power that made him untouchable. And Gaa knew that. That was also one of Gaa's frustration because he knew he couldn't control him the way he would have controlled the other kings. And Oba Majeogbe uses this to his advantage, you know, to taunt Gaa. I need you to fight, bring out one of your sons, and then his son comes out, and it was just a whole lot of mess. He ends up killing Gaa's son audition, which leads to a lot of, things in the movie, a lot of crises in the movie, leads to Ga killing Obamaje Ogbe, and then the jazz coming back on Ga becoming paralyzed, Ga killing his daughter-in-law, who now becomes his wife, kills her, uses her to walk again. It was just a whole lot of bloody mess in the movie. And to when Ga eventually dies, is eventually killed. So I have a love-hate for this movie. I'm going to say because some of the things I love about the movie, I also hate. So it's like I'm in a toxic relationship with this movie. I love and hate at the same time. So first off, I love the acting. Femi Branch did a number. Like, he did so well. I loved his acting. I loved his emotions. One of my favorite scenes, I love a lot of scenes, but one of my favorite scenes was the one with Zainab. And he was saying, I heard this word, Noro. That thing was really, I removed it, and it was very, very fun. I was like, it was talking to her like I was talking to a child. Noro. It was very good for me. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed when the scene when his son died. The emotions, the tears. It came out. Like, that was very, very good for me. I enjoyed it. I love that the actors had to learn horse riding skills. It's very, very hard. Like, I've been on a horse and my loves. It didn't work. That thing is not easy. And for them to learn how to handle horses no, I give it to them. It was very, very good. I also love the storytelling. I loved how the angle, it came in with Oyemekun. Oyemekun is Ga's son, one of Ga's sons, Ga's last son. The movie starts with him narrating the story, telling them about his father's house, and a whole lot. I loved it. I love how they showed him as, the sensible one in the family, not the killer, because it looked like Ga and all his sons were just senseless murderers. They were fighting for a good cause, but they became drunk with the whole fighting thing and the whole power thing. But he was the only one who maintained his, steeze and composure. So I love that about him. I love the scenery. The cinematography was fine. It was there. E for effort. I loved a lot of things about the movie. A lot. It was a good movie for me. So let's go to the con. So like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with this movie from the beginning. What did these people do? Like, it didn't make sense to me. They said an Alafin had died, yeah, and then they needed to install. They said they installed Basharun Ga as the new Basharun. First off, only an Alafin has the power to install a Basharun. And in the movie, then we get to know that, Labisi actually wasn't yet the Alafin. It was just an Aremo, or Aremo. It was on his way to the throne, not a king. So he didn't even have the power to install Basharun Ga as Basharun. So it didn't make a lot of sense. And yes, I understand the fact that you can't really get historical movies 100% factual, like you can't get it 100%. But I also feel that when writing historical movies, we also want to make sure that whatever it is we're writing, it has to tally a bit with the original stories. For example, that story was not true. Labisi did not install Ga as the Basharun. It was actually Alafin initially who installed Ga before his death. Ga was Basharun before Aremo Labisi. So that didn't make sense to me. So in the future, my BAP, I love you, but you know, just do those tiny things. All right, number 2, con. This one is my favorite con. Like, please, I understand that you want to show breasts. I do. I really do understand the breast. But please, if you're gonna show breast, let the breast be consistent. Let it be the same breast. You cannot be showing one breast in one place and then another thing you're showing another set of breasts. Why? Why? Please stick. I understand the use of body doubles and all, but please, if we're going to use a particular set of breasts, let us continue with the particular set of breasts. Let's not bring things. Let's not forward lorry like my head was doing. Like, what's up? You know. Also, another con: the costumes, especially the warriors. Like, why were they wearing leather? Why were they wearing leather? I don't think anybody in the 18th century or 17th century Nigerian Yoruba warrior or warlords would wear leather. I think what they would have worn, they would have adorned themselves with a lot of ashofi and also, you know, those their charms and a whole lot of. It was, for me, I was like, are we in Game of Thrones or Vikings? This is something that it should be Ogun. You know, came out way bobo kini. Oro. But then we had people doing sword fights, wearing leather, and behaving like we were one England colony. But no, it was supposed to be our traditional attire with the charms, with the cowries, with a lot of things. You know how it is. So I didn't like that. I didn't see enough of that. And which takes me to the first scene, the battle scene. It was supposed to be, you know, Sasa. Sasa was Basharun Ga's lead jazzman, like his lead sorcerer and all. He went with them to war, but he basically did not do anything there. He just sat on his horse and would smile one, you know, that kind of smile. And he did not do anything. What he was supposed to do, it was supposed to be saying some incantations, rolling that whip that they do and all, not just sitting there and lounging on the horse because maybe he was using one psych superpower that we don't know about. I don't know, but I felt he should have done better. Like, he should have been given more lines, incantations and all, and you know. Well, we didn't see a lot of that. We also did not see the warriors like battling each other with. It was more like Oyinbo men fighting, both, you know, black and speaking Yoruba. Well, it was. I didn't enjoy it that part. I really wanted to see the Togun, tija. I wanted to see it, but oh well, it's all good. It's all good. One major con for me was the accent. Please, we called it Oyoile. We called it 17th and 18th century Yoruba movie. Where did the accent go? Like, I was expecting to hear SEO, CCC, CCC, you know, all this, and I'm hearing people doing Eshe, using like modern Yoruba with a twist of old Yoruba. It wasn't fresh, oh. Like, see, if you call something historical, let it be historical. It's just like watching a Shakespearean play. You don't think they would come, you know, and they'll just come and give you modern English. No, Shakespearean plays will give you, you know, languages that will make your head ache. And why? It's because it was in, you know, that time, you know, they were not speaking modern English. I really wish they had spoken old Yoruba, old Oyoile Yoruba, but I was hearing the Yoruba that would naturally speak. It wasn't fresh. The accents, just speak well. I could easily pass, what's her name? Toyin Adeyemi. Toyin Adeyemi plays Zainab. I could easily pass Toyin Adeyemi. Oh, she's from Nupe. Maybe a Yoruba would be like, you know, not Yoruba, but Yoruba. I could easily pass her. But what about those living in Oyoile? You know, it didn't look original to me. I know that, yes, we have new generations of, you know, we have Gen Zs, we have millennials, but if we're telling stories, if we're telling historical stories, can we stick to history? so that people can learn, people can see where we're coming from and where we are now and where we used to be. And that's why it's called an historical piece. So that didn't do well for me. So that's why it's a con. On our scorecard today, this movie gets a rating of 0.8 on cinematography. On directing, gets 0.8, 0.8 on editing, 0.8 plot, 0.8 storyline, 0.8 suitability for the audience, 1 for story execution, 0.9 acting, 0.6 music, 0.7 for the theme. So overall, it has a rating of 8/10 on our spicy meter, which certifies it as super spicy. For more of this content, kindly follow us on all of our social media platforms at PartyJollof Africa. At PartyJollof, we say no to piracy, so kindly ensure that you get all of your movies from authorized channels only. Until the next video, I remain Ayobami. See you next time. Bye.